Uki. Ukapanipo. Sure. Go ahead. Embrace the change. You're a cheerful merman, waking up freezing your tail off in a pond that hopefully will one day be full of wiggly little axolotls, which I don't know if you would really enjoy sleeping on top of a bunch of salamanders, considering, freshwater, saltwater. You can't be comfortable in there. You're a merman. What are you doing? Now that I think of it, we need to get you some salt. I mean, you're normally salty enough as it is, but apparently some of that part of your personality is wearing off since you have just gained the cheerful personality trait. You're happy after having spent the night sleeping in a pond that is located on the outside of a haunted museum 2 days after your host family had a death in the family in the backyard. I I think that it's a very, very, very special kind of cheerful, Uki. A very, very special kind indeed. As the sun begins to rise over the clouded, rainy skies of the haunted museum, we return to our adventures here in Wedding Rags to haunted axolotl riches, apparently, to see how everyone has done during their first night sleeping here in the haunted museum. While Uka Pandipo may have slept outside in a pond, his girlfriend Nalui finds herself waking up in a pretty bad mood, actually. She's been yelling it out at the mirror and is beginning to feel a bit better, but she swears she feels like she's been sleeping on hot white pokers all night. Really, she feels super uncomfortable and kind of in a bit of pain, but maybe that's just the hunger pangs talking. And meanwhile, our young host Leo finds himself in the community kitchen of the museum, trying to go ahead and prepare breakfast for his guest. However, he can't help but find himself too heartbroken to be able to focus on trying to make sure that he too, yes, doesn't just break down crying and burn half the kitchen down as well. Also, it's kind of awkward when, Nalumi, for crying out loud, we're about to try to go out and get some breakfast. Would you guys stop? And that is why we find ourselves here coming out on this rainy morning for a little bit of breakfast because Nalui is feeling quite hungry and is actually wanting to try out some of the local food with a nice Salvadorian meal. And meanwhile, we have Leo actually feeling extremely fearless right now because apparently he is very happy to currently having discovered a little bit more about himself and going ahead and spending some time with these new people that he has met. I suppose that he seems to be feeling quite confident that Ukapanipo and Nalui might be able to help him with the many, many things that he needs to accomplish, including actually taking care of the axolotls, which we are indeed going to hopefully be working on. And also, he started a club gathering on his own as soon as we showed up here. I have no idea why, but now he might do things like go ahead and look for breed or release axolotls, conservation activities, do some research, look for frogs, or write, hopefully on his own, while we go ahead and we let him kind of. He's balancing a lot of emotions right now. He also wants to master the writing skill, become friends with Nalui for only 5 aspiration points, which kind of sucks. Meet an alien. I'm just gonna say that he had some interesting dreams and is like, well, a ghost may not be real, but maybe all of that thunking during the night was like an alien spaceship. Hang in there, Leo. Hang in there. I'm glad that just for a moment he's forgotten his grief. And meanwhile, Nalui here, why don't we see if we can go ahead and get her some delicious food at this adorable little food truck that we have. I wanted to have her come over and be able to have like some Salvadorian food. I don't know if it's going to be sold here or if it's just going to be at this little booth. Just to take the edge off, I think I'm going to have her go here and we'll get some like breakfast foods, and then also we'll have a little chat with Ukapanipo, who ended up having a huge shift in personality after having not spent the night in the haunted museum but instead slept in a puddle, which in my opinion means that we need to go ahead and have Ukapanipo and Nalui kind of be like, hey, good morning, what's going on? I wonder, would she go ahead? I think she'd give him a hug just to see him. And meanwhile, he wants to go on a dream date from being self assured, meet someone new, and go rock climbing, or view a piece of art from the museum. Considering you really love Nalui, and the dating thing is a thing, and Ukapanipo could care less about anything other than what Ukapanipo cares about, which also includes anything Nalui cares about, I think she'll say, like, hey, breakfast first, but he might come in a little hot and be like, so how about like a date? Ask to create date. That might actually be really adorable. Meanwhile, die for thrills. How about we have him kiss in the rain? That sounds adorable. Because he totally would do that to greet her. And meanwhile, I could totally see, how about we have Leo come over and he'll try to like order some food for everybody. Cause you know, like his guests who are gonna help him with the axolotls, and but more importantly, apparently bringing his sister back to life, would like to try some of the local food. Let's just have him like order a few things and see if I can save them from him. What do I think they might enjoy? How about we grab a few things. I think he would try to be nice and like get some of the more expensive items. So we'll see if we can get him to collect up some food while Ukapanipo and Nalui say good morning to each other. It's been a little bit getting used to everything. And I could see how he would be like, Ukapanipo has kind of probably been getting over his jet lag by doing a bit of swimming in the pond. Yeah, and that's more like his priority. Wow, that's quite the steamy kiss in the rain. Yeah, this is more what he cares about. And I think Nalui, is being a good person, is kind of hungry right now, but also does care about the fact that their poor host here, he's lost his sister. Hold me closer. Oh my gosh. Wow, the love language of touch from Ukapanipo just made the moment truly magical for Nalui. It has Nalui pondering the joys of a tender caress or the comfort of a warm embrace from a beloved sim. Is this a moment of realization that Nalui likes physical intimacy? I mean, dang, Ukapanipo, sure. That was quite the kiss, I suppose. And meanwhile, Ukapanipo wants to go ask Leo for juice fizzing tips. I can only interpret that as trying to provide like some like food. Also, I think, did you just, can you stop eating whatever those are so that we can possibly give it as a gift, and let's order more food for everybody. We'll just kind of go down the list and like get a little collection of food and then share it with everybody. Meanwhile, these two are feeling quite flirty. Oh my gosh. Leap into arms. And then meanwhile, Leo, why is your mom Sala calling? And like, I hear you've been seen around town with a lady. Yeah, she's currently cradling a merman in her arms. Don't get overexcited, like, mom. We'll talk more about Leo's mom at some point. Right now is not relevant. We're trying to get breakfast. My merman is flirting with Nalui. And I'm also trying to figure out a way to get my feet under myself for the fact that there's a lot of plotty stuff going on that honestly I'm just letting the Sims kind of make up on their own. But one of the ways I'm trying to figure out how to handle all of those different plot lines juggling around at once is figuring out how do each of these different people react to a stressful situation. Like the fact that, well, somebody died and they're in a weird place. Nalui, I think, even though she's feeling very flirty from this romantic atmosphere right now, she does feel a bit responsible for everything that's gone on and really wants to maintain her aura of feeling calm and collected by going ahead and reassuring Leo that they're going to be able to, you know, at least talk to his sister as a ghost. And she has a lot of confidence that the spirits of the land, there's probably spirits of the land here too. And she would probably focus on trying to make sure Leo's feeling okay. And Leo, his way of handling all of the stress would definitely be throwing himself into his work, which is one of the things where when there's so many different plots suddenly going on, so much stuff happening at once, how do we figure out how to take the next step? We are going to start using kind of like that list of prioritization where it's like, okay, with everything that we could focus on, what realistically would Leo be focusing on right now? Being a good host, getting a bit of the food prepared for his guest, and then going ahead and actually having, in fact, I wonder if we just have everybody sit at a table. Maybe we could have a good chat. Let's do that. That might actually be like better than ordering some food because there might be some Salvadorian meals available here. Oh wait, that is our food. Hey. Pack into sack lunch. Don't let somebody take it. Don't let somebody take it. It's mine. Okay, we got it. All right, and then let's request a table. And we'll get everybody sat down. And Leo's focus, he kind of is like definitely socially awkward, but does believe in relying a little bit on others. And so this club gathering idea, this really means a lot to him because he's feeling super confident and fearless because he's with his people from socializing with familiar Sims and socially awkward trait. Leo is feeling confident because the squad is around. Being with people you know is great. In other words, I think he has some fast trust issues. And I think the fact that Nalui and Ukapanipo are so laid back because they've got the laid back trait just is kind of giving him the vibe that maybe everything is going to be okay. So we'll get some food and then we'll go ahead and focus on what we can do when it comes to not only figuring out how to handle things with his sister, but also focusing on their jobs as a conservationist. Very, very important to do. Nalui! Oh, I need to write that down. I'm trying to keep track of how much money everybody has coming to them. Okay. To some degree, so that we can try to keep the track of the funds as well. Normally, I'm much stricter about the money, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. Anyway, Nalui does. Perhaps this is even a moment where Leo checks his phone and realizes Nalui does have some experience with things like taking care of nature documentaries like Secrets of Sulani, Shocking Secrets of Sulani, and Starry Secrets of the Sea. Not a lot of money, maybe enough to pay for lunch, breakfast, I mean, but hopefully it will help out, and hopefully everybody will just kind of get to know each other a little bit more. And you two, where are you going? Could you please like order for the table maybe? Nalui, please sit. Uki, where are you going? Uki, literally where are you? What did you find? Where are you going? What did you find? Menu for Salvadorian food truck. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. Hey, it is actually the food that I think that you can have at the actual little the little food stall. So this will be a much better way to kind of order like food for everyone. Let's go ahead and we're going to just kind of get some nice yummy breakfast going. Empanadas, maybe Uki would definitely have the taquitos. And then probably some of the plantains for Nalui. And then I don't think Leo has a huge appetite, but maybe he just focuses on kind of having something that looks like it's got a bit of chomp to it. And then, when it comes to the other food, Nalui might want something kind of fancy. And what looks like it's just a honkin' chonkin' amount of food. My opinion is mermaids would of course eat fish because there's not a lot of fish in the sea. So I think something that looks like the biggest, most complicated meal would be what Ukapanipo would want. Oh, that's right. You can only have like one dish. That's right. All right, and we'll get a drink. So one dish and one drink per sim, and then we'll have probably just like a yerba mate for Leo, and then we'll have. Uki would definitely want a horchata for like breakfast. And then how about a nice dragon fruit for Nalui? And let's see if that actually shows up. Meanwhile, where were you going, sir? Oh, you were gonna clean up the trash. Uki, that's so nice of you. And milestones. Lovely. Okay. Everybody doing good? You guys gonna sit down and have breakfast together? No? Where are you going? All the way over here? Oh! You know, Ukapanipo, sitting down by the fireplace to order for the table. Bold mood, I'll take it. Also... did you just steal somebody else's appetizer, Nalui? You guys might be a little too comfortable with the whole, like, island life comfy vibes. Just saying. Why did everybody scatter to the winds? Were they... Oh, what? Oh, and Nalui... she ate somebody else's appetizers. This is not island barbecue style eating, sweetie. Let's see. She'll be able to ask about the local sites and find out more about local heritage. The local foods will be a strong culinary adventure. What an incredible combination of flavors. Now that Nilui has eaten the empanadas de verde, she can make it at home whenever she wants, though how tasty it will be, it depends on her home-style cooking skill. That's adorable. That's what she wanted. Now she wants to visit a tiger sanctuary. Nilui, that is the wrong place. Then you want to meet vampires and aliens. I think that you're having, and have an experimental meal. You are just having an absolute wild time of it. Would you please bring out a cake? Oh my gosh. Look, you and Uki need to like sit together, I think. For sure. How about, okay, everybody sit here. In theory, you should be having some food made, friends. In theory. I've never had my Sims be so wiggly at a restaurant before. Which says a lot. Nilui? Nilui? I think this might be your food, Nilui. Maybe? I mean... That's hilarious. I've never had my Sims be quite so wiggly at a restaurant before. But we won't worry too much about it. I know Louie's just like, you know, we could have something a little bit more planned, and a nice meal at a table. You guys are geese. Do you know that? Do you know your geese? All right, are we going somewhere? Or not, because it looks like, okay, that might have been breakfast. You know what? You all were on top of it. I was the one who didn't realize that this would be the result of breakfast. But look, do you all have your food? It's already lunchtime. Oh my word. Okay, and when did you get the neat trait? You goose. You don't have the neat trait. I don't know why Ukapanipo's in such a good mood, just wants to clean everything up. Look, you guys have literally snacked on everything else. Did your food get taken? Like, I'm gonna give it 2 more wiggles, and then we're gonna see. Leo needs to eat. He still hasn't managed to get anything to eat. Maybe having a food stall is what's like messing all this up. This is a little bit wild. Okay. And there's like all this food. You know what? Let's grab this to go. And then we're gonna have a Leo feel kind of confident. We're gonna all sit, please. And then we'll have everybody kind of start chit-chatting about ways that we can go ahead and start working on our mini problems. But the first of which should definitely be eating a little bit of breakfast. And do we have any food for you, Uki? Okay, look, we're gonna provide at least some food. There's chaos over on the counters. We're not gonna ask questions. We're just gonna make sure that we have something to eat breakfast for. And then we're gonna maybe get to know each other a little bit. Like, Uki, like, I feel like he might be full of gossip, for one thing. Just to kind of be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey! And now he can go ahead and make some plantains. That's not bad, that's not bad. And then we need to survey wildlife at like fishing spots or explore the cave in order to complete at the freaking islands, which we can't do, in order to complete Leo's career for today. So Whew, like I said, trying to like pick out all of the different things we could be doing. Number one of the day. After taking care of our guests, getting a moment to kind of meet and greet with them, we try to resume our focus, at least during the daytime, of completing what we can, if not everything, unfortunately, to the conservation actions that Nalui and Leo can do, because they are trying to keep this whole like axolotl grant going. And in the evenings and at nights, we will turn our attentions to the matters that matter to them in their off time, such as Leo trying to figure out our ghost reel. What happened to his sister? Will he be able to bring her back? Nalui being able to try to focus on some of her concerns. She wants to make sure that, you know, her job with the conservation department continues to go well. She's also really confused because how can she go ahead and take samples from the ocean when there's no ocean? There seems to be a little bit of a miscommunication that Nalui, having lost all her memories and ended up washed up on the islands, didn't quite put the pieces together that maybe there isn't a beach here. What does that mean? Her performance at work is going to go down if she isn't able to do the things that she needs to. And then what about Ukapanipo? Sunken treasure hunter is only something that he was interested in because it gave him something to do while Nalui was busy with her work back on the islands. There's no sunken ships around here, right? But maybe Ukapanipo will be able to meet a certain bear that talks about a magic ring. And wait a second, aren't rings important to romancy things? Stuff that Ukapanipo is quite interested in is sweeping Nalui off her feet and working on that romantic explorer trait, or aspiration. So, all of that said, since we apparently are not going to be focusing on getting our solid meal, let's actually have Ukapanipo do him. Just you do you, Ukapanipo. And then I guess we're in a whole group already. And we're going to actually shift gears a little bit so that we can get away from the restaurant chaos. And we're going to visit this park with our group. That's right across the way from where we had the food stall. We got breakfast. It's already made it all the way into lunch. And now we're going to see what we can complete from among the conservation bits and bobs. And we're going to also introduce Nalui, who's really very happy to see Ukapanipo, it seems. We're going to introduce her to her first axolotl because we do happen to have one. We do. Let's go ahead. Friendly. And we're going to give gift. Friendly gift. Our green axolotl. That's going to be our main focus of research after all. There you go. Hey, don't give me that face. It's adorable. Come on, Nalui, you be nice. All right, let's see if can I put him like out? I can. Oh, little friend, you're so cute. Hang on, little friend. Oh my gosh. Okay, Nalui, you be nice to this axolotl. I got to figure out a good spot where we can put it down and admire it so that we can come on in and then we can start searching the park for more in just a moment here. What about over here? Oh, I cannot wait for the tool mod to be updated. I'm just like dying without my tool mod. I really need it. I need it for so many reasons. You're so precious, little guy. Let me get you up on the table real quick, if I can. All right. Well, all right, let's see. There we go. I feel like that should be a little easier. You know what? Hang on, little guy. I'm sure there's a better way. Give me just a second, little friend. We need a rock. Somebody, like, what if Ukapanipo's gonna help us just drag this rock over here. All right, this'll do. This'll do. Nice rock. And, like, it totally has been there for a while. I do kind of love when I have to change the way the world works and looks out of desperation of just being able to, like, make reasonable shifts. But now this rock and this little patch of grass, I'm going to be really happy that it's here forever because of this moment. I love changing the worlds, like, through organic need for completing, like, our little story goals, actually. It's quite delightful. All right, come here. Come here, little friend. There you go. See? There. Now we can go ahead and we can celebrate. I love him. I love it. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, hello, little guy. I cannot wait for Bakey, like who does Bakey Sims gaming mods. I cannot wait for them to like hopefully come over. Everybody view the axolot. I demand your attention. Everybody come and admire this cute little thing. Isn't it precious, Nalui? It's going to make you start thinking about how, yes, you do want to discover more about the world. Her current aspiration is the curator, which makes me excited because I like the idea that after Nalui makes sure that, you know, Leo's feeling okay, even with the whole ghost thing. And after she kind of remembers how important it really is to her to take good care of, like, the land, I think that her way of handling stress and her way of being able to kind of, like, settle herself is actually paying attention to the world around her, going out and observing things. And so the curator, like, aspiration works really well for that. And, Leo, for crying out loud, where did you go? Come, get back over here and view this axolotl, please. Let's see. And Uki, you go be Uki. If we can't take samples from the ocean, if we can enthuse to another sim about marine biology, that might be really good. And while we wait for Leo to come back, are there any collectibles? Ooh, there's actually a pond. Wow, there's a big pond over here. All right, let's have her like come rushing over here to do a little bit of surveying, because that would totally be something she'd be very interested in. And meanwhile, we'll make sure that we keep our little axolotl friend with us too. And we're gonna have him pop over here as well. Oh, look, it's the sad bear again! All right, look. Okay, Nilary totally would stop and she would totally maybe try to talk to the bear again. So let's like ask about the sadness again. All right. I wonder if she could enthuse about marine biology to this bear. This is such a weird little twist, but I love the idea that if Ukapanipo, as a treasure hunter who also wants to spoil Nilui, hears that there happens to be like a ring lost in the water, he totally would have that like mermaid pride of like, I can find it, out of my way. How you doing, bear? You doing okay? You lost your ring. Well, I sort of threw it in the nearby pond. I tried fishing it out, but I'm terrible at fishing. That was always her thing. If you're able to fish it out, let me know. All right. Once again, and we can't talk to him about marine biology, but I do think that that is an excellent segue to being able to go ahead and tell Ukapanipo about it. In fact, I think we should have Ukapanipo come over and maybe talk about the sadness, because he might be like, hey, what do you mean a ring? And meanwhile, we'll enthuse about marine biology, and can we survey? We can survey with Leo to work on that part of the wildlife career. Yeah, okay, so let's see. We'll have her enthuse about that wonderful, splendid conservation awareness, my friend. Or at least you should. I hope you can. Hello? Interest? Spread that. There we go. And then we're also going to have her gossip, interest. Ah, there it is. Interest. Enthuse about marine biology, which you think would be a conservation ability, but there we are. There we go. So, because that axolotl was so cute, am I right? Come on, guys. That's right. Get really excited about it. Get hyped for it. And then, oh, they're good friends. Oh, that's adorable. And he did want to become friends with her, didn't he? And so that should definitely count. That should definitely count. We'll have to see if we can do something with his whims in a little bit. But now that they've done that and he's feeling super happy, I mean, he's outside, he's feeling way too confident. I feel like he might be just kind of like leaping ahead by leaps and bounds. And then, oh, now Leo has the charisma skill. That's cute. Probably because he was just so happy to be talking to her about like nature. And then Nilui, well, he does his surveying. And now that Ukapanipo found out that there is a lost ring, he absolutely would come over. We'll have him do aquatic lure to be like, I can tell these like fish to come and get this ring for me or whatever. And then we'll have Millie start going around. There's frogs. Let's see if we can find a second axolotl while we leave Leo to do his surveying. And, ooh, crystals! Okay, that definitely... Oh, and she can do some surveying over here. I should probably let him finish surveying then before we take that. And then, is there anything else? Nalui? Ooh, there's a nice tree over here. One of the plantain trees, but it looks like you can't... Oh! It's an axolotl spot! We found it, guys! Let's go ahead and we're going to look for axolotls. Interestingly, you can't survey out of this one, which is not what I expected, but let's have him. Did you... Oh, you did the aquatic lure and I didn't see. Ah, ookie. Let's have you go ahead and do a little bit of fishing then. Maybe you'll find that ring. That's what you're looking for. Good luck. There we go. And then we've got to let Leo do his surveying on some of the things before we collect them. But the good news is, oh, and also that's actually, okay, I get that this is kind of supposed to be like a cutesy little statue, but it sort of scares me a lot. That actually, okay, maybe I can get lucky and put some plants on that once the tool mod's updated, because that's, okay, it is cute, but there's something about the like heads replaced with not heads aesthetic of art that sometimes makes me feel a little bit like faint. It scares me. Which is silly, I admit, but it does. Also, somebody just... What? A gold axolotl? No, Louie, what? Hold up here. That sounds like a really important type of axolotl. Also, I feel gypped that they don't reach in. This is such a cute little, like, log, right? I really like this log. I really hope it can become like an adorable little planter from some amazing modder. I feel like to catch a salamander, you should at least have to stick your hands in the water. But no, there we go. And just like that, we have our first gold axolotl. Ta-da! Apparently it's also a common type. Golden iridescence and light-colored speckles give it a beautiful hue. That sounds so cute! And so we'll go ahead and say we found 2 of them. Oh, and now we have bred a second green axolotl! Woo! I also think it's interesting how they can't be sold or deleted, which makes me wonder if that's like a statement on the pet industry, maybe? But let's actually have the Louie come on over and maybe admire her new acquisition. And maybe we'll take some cute pictures of it that we might be able to sell and say count as like research that she's doing. I think we would allow her to sell pictures of the axolotls just from her inventory, even though I'm kind of picky about that, because I think that would count as like doing some of her research. Also, speaking of doing research, we can now do a couple more surveying bits and bobs before, let's see. Wait, are these just decorative trees? They can't be. They've got to be trees that we can actually harvest from, right? Right? I'm desperately trying to have a little bit of hope there. Alright, meanwhile, Nilly's getting kind of tired. She wants to have a little picnic. That's so cute. But maybe we'll be able to, like, get some coffee or something, because there's still quite a bit to do, my dear. Oh, what a cute little place! There's like a bar. And there's a woohoo card game. This is a public park, people. Public park. Like, side-eyeing everything about this. And we may get like a little coffee stand put in. Also, I love how it's just non-stop raining here. It's probably gonna make Ookie happy at least. But alright, so it's still a little rough around the edges as I slowly but surely figure out how I can guide our very silly Sims to actually be able to focus on a few of the core key pieces that we need to. And it's especially kind of silly and a little bit more difficult than anticipated when, let's go ahead and have her take a photo. Especially silly and a little bit trickier. Oh, it's so cute! Oh, you're adorable. When we need to kind of scrape together some of our passion for these axolotls, but they're axolotl-y adorable, and I'm sure that with a little bit of kind of squeaking around the edges, we'll be able to put things together. We'll be able to figure out a way to have satisfaction whilst we go ahead and complete aspirations, complete the axolotl goals, and let things kind of flow a little more naturally with the storytelling. Also, is that a flower shop? It's a flower shop. It's a flower shop. Oh, I think definitely I would want some flowers, but I think, to be honest, Nilwe would care more about getting a coffee about now. So, all right. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Getting back in the like pond, I suppose, and figuring out how to put all the pieces together so that we can discover what we can in this new land and start figuring out what we can do with these adorable axolotls too. So, I'll see you guys back at the Haunted Mansion next time. Bye-bye.